Welcome to the press conference today to announce Capital Showdown, December 10th here from Washington, D.C., from the Convention Center. It's going to be the return of HBO World Championship Boxing to Washington. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It has been 18 years since HBO World Championship Boxing has been here in Washington. So we're really excited to bring this fight here, but really bring this card, this event here. There's a lot of young and exciting talent in and around Washington, which will be showcased on this card. We really want to bring the best, the brightest young fighters from the Washington, D.C. area to be participating on this card. Beside the main event between Amir Khan and Lamont Peterson, we will have Seth Mitchell, the young, rising American heavyweight, who is considered by most media experts in the United States as the best young American heavyweight. He will be on the card. We will have Anthony Peterson on the card as well. So there are so many other young fighters which will participate and be part of this event. Let me give you a quick background on why Washington. Obviously, it's a natural with the Petersons being from here and Amir having recently been invited by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton here to a state dinner as an ambassador of the sport. He immediately fell in love with the city, with Washington, and I have to give credit though as well to some writers and media people from the Washington area. A few weeks ago we had the Mayweather-Ortiz fight in Las Vegas, and during the media dinner I somehow ended up on the Washington table, and they pretty much worked me over all night long. You've got to bring this fight to Washington, you've got to bring this fight to Washington. So a lot of thanks goes to Bob Whalen from USA Today, Tom Lovero from the Washington Examiner, Chuck Sapienza from Fox Radio, and Dan Rayfield from ESPN. They of course all live around here, and they had some vested interest for this fight to come here, but I really think they genuinely felt that this was the perfect spot for this card, and it certainly is. So again, we are excited, we are happy to be here, and we're happy to be here to bring such a significant World Championship unification bout to the city. The event will be, as I mentioned, at the Washington Convention Center, the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. It will be set to about 12,000 capacity. We do anticipate the sellout, and we will have further information as on when tickets will go on sale and where they will, at what price level they will start. I can tell you though, both fighters really wanted it to be sort of like a holiday gift to the community of Washington, D.C., and asked that the tickets are going to be priced reasonably, and the ticket prices will start at $25. So let your people know that there's going to be no reason not to be there. We really want this to be a pre-holiday celebration, really embracing the sport of boxing, and I want Washington to come out in big numbers and support this card so that we don't have to wait another 18 years for HBO to come back. And he really has become an ambassador of the sport by uniting the Muslim, the Brits, the Americans, and really growing more and more into that role, as we have seen months or so ago when he was here in Washington with the Secretary of State Hillary Clinton participating in a state dinner. And we want to reach out as well to the political establishment here in Washington, of course, through Jeff and through others, by inviting the Barack Obama, President Obama and his family, and as well Senator of State Hillary Clinton to the fight. But we want to reserve as well a special section for the congressional leadership here in Washington. There will be no aisle. They're going to have to sit together. So hopefully they can resolve some of the issues, because these two guys will resolve their issues, and you can see it today at the press conference. They do it in a polite and first-class manner. These are two first-class, humble athletes, and I think many people, and I'm not just pointing to Washington, many people can take a page out of that. So we'll see if the congressional section in the venue will be full or it will be empty. So we'll see, but we certainly will reach out to them. Amir Khan is a very, very special young man. And we at Golden Boy are really privileged and proud to have him as part of our promotional stable. And I said it many times before, watch and see. This young man will become, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. No question about it. I really have zero question about that, because he has the skills, he has the power, tremendous punch, he has the heart of a lion, and all of those who doubted his chin, I think in the Maidana fight, he showed that he might just as well have the best chin in the sport of boxing. He really is an all-around athlete, a first-class human being. It is a pleasure and an honor for me now to introduce to you Amir King Gangster Khan.
Hi everyone, I'm not gangster. It's a great turnout today. You know, we had a great turnout in London for the press conference yesterday, and it was really busy. But I think this is as busy. I just want to thank HBO for showing the fight, Kerry Davis, and thank Golden Boy for making this fight. Also, Team Peterson, Team Khan for helping us make this fight and everything. Also got friends in Washington. Razak for promoting this fight before he was even announced. But you know, we come here around about 4 weeks ago, and I got to see this city a little bit, and I liked it. And I come back home and I called Richard up and said, Richard, what do you think about fighting in Washington? He said, there's never been a fight there for the last 18 years, so it's like a 50-50 thing. So as soon as we started to, drop it to a few people that we might be thinking about getting a fight in Washington, Brian Gavin was talking about it, saying, yeah, bring the fight over here, it's going to be massive, and I can already see when I was walking the streets as well, it's going to be massive. I want to thank the British Deputy Minister for turning up. I mean, it means a lot, you guys turning up. Also the Pakistan Ambassador as well, the Deputy Ambassador. Yesterday I went to meet the Pakistani Ambassador. It was great to meet him. We had a coffee together, and it was great. I'm going to start training for this next fight on Monday. I get to meet Freddie Roach and Alex Ariza. They're in the Philippines at the moment. They're going to cut the camp short with Manny Pacquiao over there and continue with Manny in LA. So we're going to continue everything that we do there, and training hopefully is going to go really well. I'm looking forward to training. The last fight against Zab Judah it went really, really well, and we know we're facing a different opponent here. And Lamont Peterson, first of all I want to say he's a very nice guy. We never get two nice guys in a fight. Normally there's normally one guy who's always bad-mouthing, but I mean, you've got two nice guys fighting here, and I'm sure once we put the gloves on in the fight, it'll be a different story. But yeah, Lamont's a taller fighter than most guys I fight. He's very skillful, very strong, very powerful, and only lost one fight like myself, so he's tasted defeat before, and he knows what it feels like, and I'm sure he doesn't want to taste that again, so he's going to be training very hard for it. 18 years. Now, what are you guys doing in Washington? How come there's not been a fight here? That's a long time. I mean, Lem, I'm sure you would have tried to get a fight here, also yourself. Oh, was it 05?
It wasn't HBO. It wasn't on HBO.
Oh, right.
Nobody saw it. Bernard Hopkins fought in Landover, which is near here. That's where he won his title.
Right. So yeah, I mean, boxing, hopefully we want to bring boxing back to Washington, and maybe this could be first of many fights here. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I just want to thank you all for turning up today. It was great meet a lot of media here today, and hopefully I'll come December 10th, which is 2 days after my birthday. I'm going to treat myself with a birthday present 2 days later. That's one of the things. But it's gonna be a big fight. It's gonna be an explosive fight, and hope you don't miss it, guys. Get in touch and get the tickets and before they all sell out. Thank you very much.
To introduce to you a very special fighter here from the Washington, D.C. area. Boxing is a sport of opportunities, and he will have the opportunity to make all of his dreams come true with a win over the superstar Amir Khan. He has a record of 29-1 with 1 draw, 15 knockouts. He has the skills, he has the power to unseat the superstar, and he's going to have the hometown advantage and the hometown crowd behind him, and that is Lamont Peterson.
fight doing today. Not gonna be long because I'm a little underdressed for the temperature up here. This vent right here is killing me. So I'm gonna just say it's a dream come true for me. I dreamed about this day many times. Just attending the big fights here, at the Verizon Center with Sean Bay Mitchell and Mark Two Shop Johnson and Keith Holmes and fighters like that fought here. And I would go home and go back to the gym and just wish, one day that I would get my opportunity. Well, this is my chance right here to win 2 world titles here in my hometown. So, I'm blessed for that. I'm pretty sure Khan will be training hard to defend his titles, but I'll be training even harder to protect my home turf, which is DC, and we're gonna keep those belts here. Last thing, I just would like to thank Khan for the opportunity fighting for a world title. Would like to thank Golden Boy for working with me, and HBO for having me on. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you.
It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you with a record of 23 and all with 1 draw, Seth Mayhem Mitchell, the next American heavyweight champion.
How y'all doing? First and foremost, I'd like to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for just blessing me. Without boxing, I'm truly blessed with the people that I have in my corner, my family, my wife, my 2 daughters. I also like to thank Golden Boy. I like to thank HBO for providing me with this opportunity. I'd like to thank my team. I'm not going to be as long-winded as my manager, but Sharif Salim, my mentor, my coach, Maurice Banks, Al Heyman, my advisor, Lauren Shavakin, who helps me out with a lot of my media, and my cut man, Chris Ray. I'm extremely happy for the opportunity. I'm focused. Come December 10th, I definitely will be ready. Like I say, we want everybody to come out. The fighters are going to do their part. We're going to put on a good show, but we need it to be a successful event and have everybody come out there. Last but not least, again, I'd like to thank Golden Boy and HBO for the opportunity. I realize that it doesn't come around this often for you to be televised on HBO. And come December 10th, I won't disappoint. Right now, you have Seth Mitchell. December 10th, you will get mayhem. Thank you.
Here with world champion Amir Khan. Let's talk about the decision to come into Lamont Peterson's backyard, Washington, D.C., and have the fight in his hometown. Yeah,
I was here a couple of weeks back, and I kind of enjoyed coming to Washington, and it being the capital of America. I thought it'd be good to have a fight here. I've noticed that on HBO, they've not showed a fight coming from Washington for the last 18 years. So I want to put boxing back alive here, and fighting Lamont Peterson, who is also from Washington. I think it'll be big. Definitely be massive. Lamont's got big support over here. I also just discovered I've got a lot of support in Washington, which is a good thing. So I want to give my fans a chance to see me fight, not only in Vegas and New York, but in Washington also.
Let's talk about the future. There's been a lot of talk of going up to 147, looking for a super fight. Yeah. Will this be your swan song at 140, or is that yet to be decided? Well,
that'll be yet to be decided. I mean, I want to move up next year to 147. The reason I want to move up from 140 is because I've offered all the best fighters and all the guys who think they deserve to be in the top 5 in the division fight. And I offered Bradley the fight. He turned it down. He was also stripped for not fighting me by the WBC. Then Morales won the WBC, and I offered him a fight. He also turned it down. I mean, look, I'm offering these big names I'm offering them big fights, also big paydays, and they're not taking the fight. I have a lot of respect for Lamont Peterson for taking this fight. Lamont was offered this fight 9 months ago, and he turned it down. Maybe he thought this time was right to take the fight. And we wanted to fight in the UK. They said no because they were thinking that they might have a little bit of problems with the judging. I said, no problem, I'll fight you wherever you want me to fight you. And he also said Washington. I said, not a problem.
Very refreshing in today's boxing world. What can we expect to see the night of December 10th when you step between the ropes to fight Peterson?
Two nice guys, you know, you got two nice guys in the sport who respect the sport of boxing and want to put on a good performance on for the fans. I want the fans to walk out happy, and you know, there's only going to be one winner in this fight, and that's going to be Amir Khan. I've got too much to lose to get beat by Lamont. Lamont's a good fighter, but I have to be one step ahead of him, and I'm going to be excited to put on a show again in front of these Washington fans. I mean, they are loyal fans. Like, it's going to be like fighting in the UK for me. I honestly think that I will have more fan base than Lamont Peterson in his own city. Everywhere I've been going, a lot of people have been saying they're going to be there for me, and we've got about between 5,000 to 8,000 people traveling from England. So it's going to be massive. This is going to be a big fight.
It'll be Washington, D.C., Saturday, December 10th, Amir Khan versus Lamont Peterson. We wish you the best, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
This is Alec Cohet with MaxBoxing.com with Barry Hunter, the trainer, manager of both Lamont and Anthony Peterson. I wanted to ask, how does it feel to you personally? Here we are, we're overlooking the White House, and a young man that you've mentored for so long to be in the spotlight fighting for a world title with Amir Khan.
I can't even describe the feeling. You know, like you said, we are overlooking the White House, and this is D.C. This is where I was born and raised, and may ultimately die here. So I love the city and I love its people. So, you know, it's to me, it's a historical moment.
Now let's talk about Seth Mayhem Mitchell, a local D.C. product, ex-linebacker, Michigan State. What are your plans for him, let's say, over the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, it's amazing how he has really come along, how with relatively little amateur experience, he showed what you can do if you're an athlete. And he really is one of the most athletic fighters in any weight classes, let alone in the heavyweight division. So he really is always able to step up. As we step up the competition for him, Seth Mitchell knows how to step up for it. And I think there's a reason why people in the boxing world believe that he is the next the next American heavyweight who can become a world champion. So we're very, very excited about him as a fighter in the ring. But for those who know him outside of the ring, he's one of the nicest, most pleasant people I have ever met.
Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to giving you a nice warm welcome on December 10th.
We are looking forward, and we are excited to be here.
Thank you, Richard. With Seth Mayhem Mitchell, heavyweight, Brandywine, Maryland. Last time we talked, you were scheduled for an HBO debut in San Jose. How does it feel now to be making that debut in front of your hometown fans?
Feels great. I'm a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason. The 27 card got canceled, and I ended up being the main event on my next fight. And now we're back here on HBO in front of my hometown. So I'm elated. I'm excited to get to work and put on a good show for the fans.
What can we expect to see from Seth Mitchell for the next 12 to 18 months as you make that jump from prospect to contender?
You can expect to see me fighting more notable opponents. You can expect to see me improving in every fight, staying behind my jab, killing the body, throwing punches and bunches, and just being a smart fighter in the ring, not taking a lot of punishment, hopefully.
Now the HBO debut is here. I remember we talked about a year and a half ago. You talked about how you could fall back on your athleticism during fights, but then you began thinking more as a fighter. How is that progress, and now do you feel like a full-fledged boxer in there, not so much an athlete football player who's also boxing?
Definitely. I definitely feel that there's a lot of room for improvement, but I'm definitely becoming at home in the ring. I see things a lot slower. My trainer, Andre Hunter, has helped me out tremendously. And also, I always say I spar with Tony Thompson a lot in the gym, and you know, he's been great for my development and teaching me the nuances of the boxing game, and a lot of good sparring from Danny Kelly. He's an up-and-coming heavyweight, and a lot of heavyweights around here, Dwayne McCray that I spar with. But I definitely feel that I'm becoming a boxer. It's like it's second nature to me now. So it's kind of exciting for me, and it might be a little scary for my opponents, but I'm becoming my own in the ring.
Has it been frustrating trying to get opponents? I know several bigger name opponents have turned down fights with you. Is that frustrating, or do you realize that once you start entering that contender status, the fight should come?
I think both. I think it's frustrating, but at the same time, I understand it's a business, and some of these fighters who are, a fight or two away from a title shot or a big money payday, I'm a threat to them. And not to name any names, because that's, as you know me, that's not what I do. But it's a lot of fighters out there that I want to fight, and that haven't accepted the fights. But I'm the fighter. I'm just going to continue to work hard and let my management, my promotional company, Golden Boy, continue to do what they've been doing, and I think they're doing a tremendous job with my career.
It'll be Saturday, December 10th. Seth Mitchell, a heavyweight from Brandywine, Maryland, will make his HBO debut in front of the hometown crowd. We wish you the best of luck, Seth.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
With Sharif Salim, the manager of Seth Mayhem Mitchell. Last time we spoke, you were getting ready for a trip to San Jose to fight Mike Molo. Is there any talk of an opponent or anyone you would especially like to see Seth fight?
Well, there is talk, but so often when we enter into the talk of who the opponent might be, it can change 3 to 4 times. So we're not really sure right now. Even though we're working, of course, with Golden Boy, we are asking for it to come up a notch. In fact, 2 or 3, we don't mind. We're ready to take that second-tier fighter on. But that person has not been presented to us yet.
What are your plans? He's at that point now where he's ready to make that jump from prospect to true contender.
Yes.
What do you see forward for the next 12 to 18 months for Seth?
Well, after this fight, December 10th, against I don't know whom, but after this fight, I can easily see Seth fighting maybe twice in the late winter and maybe the late spring, and hopefully 3 fights, December, say February, say May. I believe we would have put the body of work in, because we want, really contenders to be prepared for at least an eliminator by late summer. That eliminator fight, we are hoping, could transform into a heavyweight title shot by December 2012. We do not think that's unrealistic. In fact, that's our goal.